This is the story of 3 people during the week of Christmas. It happened in Washington, D.C. to William Key, police reporter for the Washington, D.C. Times-Herald, who had to wipe from his mind the drunks, pickpockets, and murderers who people his police beat, and write a Christmas story. It happened to Flora Adams, 18 years old, who was going home for the first time in a year, home to Pueblo, Colorado, for Christmas.
I asked for apple pie.
Oh, for heaven's sakes. You'll just have to forgive me.
Oh, it's all right. I heard you were going home for Christmas. Figures you'd be a little excited. Take your time.
A reporter, a waitress, and a nice young man, who just happened to be a con man. The stories that shock a nation, move them, make them laugh, begin here. Like this one. I'm Paul Stewart. That was the beginning. A reporter in search of a Christmas story. A girl going home for Christmas. And a con man with an ink-smudged $20 bill. The raw materials for Bill Key's Christmas story. They're ready. They're rolling. The presses are rolling on Deadline.
Anything at headquarters?
Yeah, 5 drunks, 3 pickpockets, 2 muggings, a larceny, and assault and battery.
All I asked for was a Christmas story.
I'm gonna write one for you.
Not in your frame of mind.
Look, you want a Christmas story? All right, I'll invent one. You think Christmas week is some sort of moratorium on crime? Well, take a look at the police blotter. It's the same as any other week or day.
Now, look, Bill. I need a Christmas story. But you need one even more. Find it.
I'm going out for some coffee. Do you mind?
I just can't believe it. Just think, in 6 hours I'll be on my way home after almost a whole year.
Gee, I haven't been home in 17 years. And if I never see the dump again, it'll be too soon.
I'd die. I'd just shrivel up and die if I couldn't get home for Christmas.
Well, you better relax or you'll bust a blood vessel before you get there. Why is it so important to you?
Because, well, I don't know. They didn't want me to come here. They said I'd go running home inside a week. But, well, I fooled them, didn't I?
Sure. You're a real raving success, aren't you?
Well, I made out good enough to save money and good enough to buy a cowboy suit for Billy and a nice blouse for Mom and a pipe set for Dad and a fur coat for myself.
What bank did you rob?
Well, I bought it on time. Mrs. Franklin, my landlady, she's letting me pay half my month's rent and the rest when I come back after Christmas. Well, you see, and as long as I have a steady job, I can just keep paying everything out at the same time.
And be in hock for the rest of your life.
Oh, well, it'll be worth it. When I step off that train, I'm going to be wearing a fur coat, and I'm going to be carrying an armload of packages, and they're going to know they were wrong about me. They're going to know that I've made good.
Made good? You call a 2-bit hash house like this making good? Hey, take it easy. Will you relax? You and your fur coat and those presents. You're not home yet, so just relax.
I'm sorry.
Aren't you on the register?
Well, I'm right this minute on the way over, Mr. Ellis.
I'll be back after lunch.
give me a pack of those mints and those cigarettes.
I remember your brand.
All your customers or just mine?
Most everybody. Well, I guess I just like people.
It's very interesting. Oh, don't forget to take out for the mints.
Oh, thank you. 35, 4, 50, and 50 make $1. Thank you, and I hope you have a very Merry Christmas.
Haven't you forgotten something? I gave you a 20. You only gave me change for 1.
I couldn't have.
Well, I'll bet you anything there's a 20 in there. Just take a look and see.
Well, yes, but it seems to me that this one was in here this morning.
Well, this one has an ink smudge on the corner. Look and see. Am I right?
Oh, I'm so embarrassed.
Don't mention it. Don't be silly.
Well, I guess I'm just so excited about going home tonight. I just can't think straight.
It's perfectly understandable.
Thank you, and I hope you have a very Merry Christmas.
Have a very Merry Christmas at home.
Flora?
Can I have my half-week's pay? I'm all ready.
The register tally is $19 short. Did you change a 20? Well, then where is it?
Well, this is the one. I remember the ink smudges.
So do I, and it was in the register when I left for lunch.
Oh, no. It couldn't have been. You see, this nice young man, he comes in here for coffee. At least he has the last couple of days, and well, he gave it to me while you were out.
Now, he gave it to you, all right. One of the oldest con stunts in the book, and you fall for it.
Oh, you're wrong.
Look, don't tell me. I know how this works. He came in sometime earlier today and left the marked bill. Then he waited till you were at the register. He pulled it then.
No, he wouldn't do a thing like that. No. If he made a mistake, he'll be back.
Let's hope so, girlie. For your sake.
Mr. Ellis, can I have my half-week's pay now?
Come again?
My salary.
Let's see. You got 3 days, $6 a day, $18 coming you. I got $19 coming me. Let's call it quits. If you got anything in the locker, you better pick it up. You're through.
No. Well, you can't do that because I'm going back to my room and I've got to go home and well, I got to pay part of my rent and my fur coat and well, I counted on coming back to my job.
You also counted out 19 of my hard-earned dollars.
Please, Mr. Ellis. I can't go home like this.
Then don't go home. What do you want from me? You can't go home, don't go home.
Excuse me. Oh, excuse me. I thought you were somebody else.
Go home before you freeze to death. He'll fly away in his reindeer before you see those $19 again, so go home. Go home.
I'm so glad I heard you, sweetheart.
My door seems to be stuck.
I had it closed up just in case. Wanted to be sure I heard you. Wanted to say goodbye before you went away.
I would have stopped by and...
Well, this way I made sure. Well, sweetheart, have you got your month's rent?
I said I'd pay you only half now.
You're right. Absolutely right. Half now, the other half later. That's $16.50.
Mrs. Franklin, I don't know quite how to explain this. You see, something happened at work today. I made a mistake changing a $20 bill, so you can see, for the time being, I'm a little short.
Well, it isn't as though I own the building. I'm merely the superintendent. When the company sends around to collect the rent, they don't ask for explanations. The rent, that's the only thing they're interested in. Oh, in honor of Christmas and you're going home? All right. I'll advance a half a month's rent out of my own pocket. But it's Christmas in my home, too. Can I advance a whole month?
Well, Mrs. Franklin, I promise as soon as I get back, I'll find a new job and...
You lost your job, too? Not good, sweetheart. Not good whatsoever. It looks as though you leave me no choice. When you pay, you can pick up your things.
No, look, I can't do that. All my things are in there, my fur coat and my presents. You can't let me go home empty-handed like a beggar, like they said I would.
Listen, have a nice trip, baby, and a very Merry Christmas.
Jean, oh, am I ever glad you're in. Jeannie, I'm in an awful fix, just awful.
Well, now relax, honey, and tell Auntie all about it.
I got locked out of my room and well, all my things are in there, my fur coat and everything, my presents, and Mr. Ellis, he said I was $19 short in my cash register, so he fired me.
Oh, fired too? Oh. You need it right now.
There's a bus. It's the only one going out tonight, and I'm supposed to be on it, and I haven't got the money. It costs $27.50.
Well, that's a lot of money.
Jean, if I don't go home, I'll die.
Now, listen, don't get hysterical with me. It's your fur coat and your Christmas, and if you never get home to see your folks, it couldn't matter less to me.
Jeannie, look, you're the only person I know in town. Now, what am I going to do?
You're a nice kid, but simmer down, huh? Listen, sweetie, I'm kind of tied up just now, so if there's nothing else...
Jeannie? Hello? Hello?
Don't forget to take out for the mints.
Go home before you freeze to death. You'll fly away in his reindeer before you see those $19 again, so go home. Go home.
Lost your job, too? Not good, sweetheart. Not good whatsoever. It looks as though you leave me no choice. When you pay, you can pick up your belongings.
Now, listen, don't get hysterical with me. It's your fur coat and your Christmas, and if you never get home to see your folks, it couldn't matter less to me. You're a nice kid, but...
Christmas time, a joyous time, but not for everyone.
So you want a pumper, huh? Who, what, why, where, and lo and behold, you got yourself a beautiful Christmas story. 19-year-old girl tries to kill herself. Merry Christmas.
Why'd you do it, Annie?
Leave her alone. There's no story here, Bill. Take my word for it. There's nothing here but a scared little girl who tried to buy herself a few days of happiness and found out that it cost too much. $19 too much.
Annie, you're getting old. You used to be old crust and a yard wide. Now what gives?
Maybe just once I'd like to be able to believe, even for a few minutes, that the guy in the white whiskers isn't a phony. But how can you believe in Santa Claus when a kid has to jump in the river for $19? And on Christmas?
It couldn't be that simple.
And find out for yourself. Pester her with your questions. Try and make a Christmas story out of this one, Key. Just try it.
Well, they weren't just Christmas presents. Ever since last March when I left home, I think I've been praying and dreaming about how I wanted it to be when I got home for Christmas, and I'd made that dream come true until that boy cheated me. He looked so nice.
Honey, you've been in Washington for 10 months now. And all that time, haven't you made any friends? Somebody who could help you, somebody who could loan you $19 to get home? You want to tell me about it? Just tell me what happened.
What's the point? She's already told you her side, and I'm Frankenstein. So what's the point?
You want me to write the story just the way I've got it?
Why not? You've got me tagged like a regular Scrooge, so why not let your readers in on it? This business is lousy anyway. So why not kill it completely?
I guess you never made a mistake in your life, huh?
Look, I don't mind mistakes, but this is just plain stupid. And she's got the gall to think this guy's going to come running back with a 20. I mean, how naive can you get?
Oh, no, not anymore, Mr. Ellis. You've helped to teach her a lesson. I don't think she'll ever trust anyone anymore.
Okay. So I fired a girl who threw away 19 of my hard-earned dollars. So make me out the man who killed Santa Claus.
Okay, so I'm the meanest dame alive. A kid comes here 4 months ago, appoints me her guardian. So what am I supposed to do? I got worries of my own. You got a couple hours sometime, I'll tell you about them. But right now, I'm busy. Look, did I ask her to buy that fur coat on time? Did I? Is it my fault she fell for the oldest con stunt in the books? Did I lock her out of her room?
You couldn't lay your hands on $20 to get her out of the hole.
If I could or if I couldn't, it's none of your business, mister. I got troubles of my own. You think it's easy supporting a guy who loves to drink and hates to work? But that's my problem, and I keep it to myself. Well, let her keep her troubles to herself, too. And if that makes me mean, you can lump it.
I've been the superintendent of this building for over 15 years. And anyone can tell you, there's no meanness in me. I'm sorry for her. Sure, I'm sorry for her. But what's a body supposed to do? Take care of every stray cat and problem in the whole world?
Bill Key had his story. Not the Christmas story he'd been assigned to write, but a Christmas story.
It's first rate, Bill. First rate.
But you can't use it, huh?
I didn't say that.
You want an upbeat ending.
Well, it would have been nice, but, well, if it didn't happen that way...
Then you use it?
I said it was first rate, didn't I? Copy.
Mr. Key, this is Flora Adams. I just read your story. Do you think that you could come over here for a little while this morning? Oh, good. Thank you. Goodbye.
Hi, Annie. What does she want to see me about?
Maybe she wants to give you a present. This story of yours was so full of Christmas spirit.
Yeah, well, to quote the kind-hearted diner owner, go ahead. Make me out the man who killed Santa Claus. Look, I just wrote the story, Annie, the way it happened. Is she in there?
Yeah, go on in.
I'm leaving this morning.
So I see.
More than leaving, really. Well, I'm going home. Do I look all right?
Lovely.
It's not mine, but it fits all right, don't you think?
It fits fine.
Jeannie loaned it to me. Well, usually her taste is a little, well, flashy for me, but this looks all right, don't you think so?
Yeah. No, wait a minute. You say you're going home and Jeannie loaned you her dress?
And that isn't all, Mr. Key. Really, that's why I wanted to see you. The end of your story, well, it isn't really the end. More like the beginning, maybe. Mr. Ellis paid my rent. He did it before you printed your story. And Mrs. Franklin brought over my things. She said she was sorry. Well, Mr. Ellis said that we'd work everything out when I came back to my job after Christmas. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Oh, Merry Christmas.
So what is with you?
You got your story, Key, but you haven't got all of it.
What do you mean?
While you were inside, an accident case came in. One of those real freaks. I guess you'd call it a freak of fate. A guy came tearing out of the liquor store, slipped on a patch of ice, and broke his leg.
I don't get it.
This is his wallet. Take a look inside. $20 bill. And every one of them with an ink smudge in the corner. What would you call it, Bill? Coincidence?
What else could it be?
Sure. What else could it be?
Merry Christmas, Annie.
The story made no headlines, just a box on page 1. But for at least 2 people, for Flora Adams, the real meaning of Christmas became a living thing, never to be forgotten. And for Bill Key, police reporter for the Washington Times-Herald, it was one of the most important stories he would ever cover. Deadline, Christmas.